Okay, what's up, guys? I don't know why my phone has chosen today that I am gonna look like I filmed this on iPod Touch, but it is like insanely grainy for some reason. But like my hand looks clear. Maybe I just need to get closer. I don't know what the deal is. Anyways, I have been gone for a little bit, so this will be a little bit of a rusty video. It hasn't been that long. It's only been like a week, but last week was Valentine's Day. Had a lot going on, and also just kind of needed a week to research things and work on stuff. Tomorrow will be a new Paper Tiger video, which is exciting, but this is just kind of a warm up. And honestly, a video I should have made last Friday. It's been in the works for a little bit, but I recently got back into the rabbit hole of post-traumatic growth, which I've done videos on before. It is kind of the model that at least I followed after Highland Park and everything like that, and has something that I have talked about before and been like, hey, this is a great way to deal with, tough things that are going on in your life. And I realized that one of the most important steps of post-traumatic growth is validating your experience. So whatever your traumatic experience was, validating that it happened, that it was traumatic, that it was hard, and that it is time to grow from it and to accept it and to, move on from it. And I realized I never did that with my concussion because I was like, well, tons of people go to the hospital. Tons of people have cysts that, aren't cancerous. I mean, probably every person does. Tons of people get concussions. Tons of people do this. And it was all just a novel experience for me at once. On top of that, moving, graduating, everything was new. But I was like, so many people go through this. It's not some unique, like, terrible thing that is just happening to me. Everybody goes through this bullshit. And I, on Friday, was watching these videos, and I was like, holy shit. If I just sit here and I tell myself, okay, yeah, that was tough, that was hard, you went through some bullshit there, I feel so much better. And I don't think I ever did that for myself. And so I sat down and I wrote, every experience I had felt had been really hard last year. And I feel like in the matter of days, my anxiety has once again gotten better. I mean, I remember watching this video about it, and it was like, hey, the thing with post-traumatic growth is we're not trying to bounce back to how you were before whatever the traumatic event was. We're trying to bounce forward. And I was sitting here today, and I was like, damn, I actually feel like I've bounced forward. That's crazy. I went to a concert last night, and I go to concerts all the time. They're not really something that bothers me, the act of going to it. But the act of being there with all the lights and all the people, it can sometimes get really overstimulating and can get kind of too much, and my brain starts doing a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, I need to get the hell out of here. And I was standing there at this concert with Brett, and I didn't say anything to him, but I was saying, I was like, damn, this is the most relaxed I felt at a concert ever. I feel at inner peace. And I feel like over the weekend, I've, haven't meditated as much, or haven't felt the need to meditate as much. I've noticed symptoms or anxious thoughts and been like, okay, this is a false alarm. This is created by my brain. This isn't something to worry about. I feel like I've engaged with the present more, Going back to the concert last night, I remember standing there and just being like, damn, this, I'm here. I'm present. I'm a person. There's, 4 speakers here. Just counting random stuff in your head, which at first you're like, well, what the hell does that have to do anything? But it helps to, take notice of your surroundings, just use your senses. I was like, okay, I smell this. I notice this. The sound from his guitar is coming over here. There's vocals coming from here. Just stuff like that you don't, or at least I don't normally do, because my mind's racing, because I'm like, okay, I'm thirsty. Where's the water thing? What if I pass out? Where's the closest exit if it gets too rowdy in here, or if something happens? I mean, it wasn't a rowdy concert, but regardless, I was still standing there, and I was just like, damn, this is nice. And it was crazy because I was like, well, why had I never made this realization that I needed to validate that these things was hard? And because I think I was too scared of being, vulnerable even to myself. And, this whole time I'm trying to be like, yeah, work through it, press hard, like we're gonna combat anxiety, we're gonna combat stress, we're gonna combat all this, just work through that shit, you got it, man, blah, blah, blah. And I never took the time to just sit there and be like, yeah, that shit was fucking hard. And it sucked. And it took a lot out of me. And it really spun me out there for a second. And I finally did it this weekend. And it was needed. And I feel like it made a huge difference. That's kind of all I have to say. This isn't really like a in-depth video. I'm not going to go over a lot of stuff. Because frankly, there's nothing really to go over. If you have gone through something that affected you negatively, that was hard, that was traumatic in some way, but something is stopping you from acknowledging that fact, and something is in your mind being like, hey man, no, actually, you're fine. That wasn't some bullshit. You're fine. Fight back. Acknowledge that it was, especially if you're like me and something's been off was off for like 9-10 months, is starting to get better, a lot better, almost to the point now where I'm healing things that I wasn't even trying to heal in the first place. Again, bouncing forward. Acknowledge it, validate it, you'll feel a lot better. But that's kind of it. I know this isn't really exciting, but I feel like it's really important. And I hope everyone takes this who watches it and is like, okay, yeah, I should validate what I went through. Because everyone is different. Everyone has a harder time with different things. I don't mind talking to the camera. I don't mind filming people. I don't mind being on camera. But like if I went somewhere with my girlfriend and vlogged it with her, she'd be like, nah, I don't look pretty right now. It's not actually what she sounds like. She's gonna get really mad at me for impersonating her like that. Or like my dad, should that cut out? Did that cut out? No. Okay. I like my dad is, struggles with being sociable with large groups of people outside of work. Just stuff like that. People struggle with different things. People have a hard time identifying with certain things. But I have a lot more anxiety stuff I do want to talk about in other videos. But I'm going to end this one quickly right now, just by saying that, this is the first step. And I skipped the first step. And I don't want anyone else to skip the first step. So don't. Validate that you went through some bullshit. And you'll feel a lot better. All right. Adios.